Thank you so much, Ben. And I'm so happy to be here back at Data Minutes Part 2, right? Actually, I love the format, and I hope that I can bring very interesting 10 minutes to you, talking today about responsibility. As I said a few minutes ago, a topic really dear to my heart. I have spent some time digging into it last couple of months, I would say. And today, it's basically looking at the data portion of it, right? And that is centered around the fact that a lot of people say, well, data is the new oil. For me and some others, data is more just like the new bacon. So everything is better with bacon or with data. But unarguably, data probably is the enabler and the foundation for technical innovation, automation, new business models, all the buzz around digitalization and stuff. So whenever you talk to companies and decision makers about what they are up to, then they try to understand how they could leverage data more in order to support their business, not only through more influence on their decisions, but also probably just discover brand new ways of business and solutions they can build, right? And I think for this audience, I expect that many of us are involved in those types of projects, right? So when you think about big data projects, IoT projects, and then also even if you are in application development, then probably the expectation from your user side is way beyond what it was a few years ago. So end users for software applications, they now basically expect to have some kind of intelligence in the systems. And I think with all the rise of cloud and stuff, we also have seen a big rise in this topic of artificial intelligence. And there's a lot of solutions, services, and tech out there that probably many of you are looking at or already incorporating in many of the solutions that you build today. That said, many of us in the data space are also in this journey from descriptive, so looking backward, what is happening, right? Then understanding why something is happening, so more going into diagnostic. But the goal is to get more into predictive and prescriptive, so understand what is going to happen, so basically predict the future, and then also understand if we have learnings, is there any actions that we should take, and could we probably automate the reaction with those actions? And this is the Microsoft picture from the data space if you want to build a solution like this, right? So this is a reference architecture that Microsoft published, and there's a lot of elements in here that you probably heard about today. The main focus where I believe the rest of the session comes into play is if you think about the process and the enrichment, right? The processing and the enrichment of the data, and you want to add intelligence to it, then where you'll end up probably is in the space of machine learning, deep learning, AI, and definitely models, right? So you will have models that you use in your solutions. And since this is such a core component, the question is, if those AI models are used in your solution, then what is the principles you should apply? And Microsoft has published these principles for responsible AI. And I think if you really want to be like a good citizen in the data space, then you should start thinking about those principles and what they mean for your solutions, and how you can find probably tools that might want to help you with that, right? So, and it has those big aspects of ethical and explainable, right? I mean, the ethical aspect is that you want to build inclusive solutions, and accountability is also a big topic here, where people should be accountable for what they built, right? So if you are building AI systems, then you should be accountable for it. On the explainable side, we probably want to make sure that our AI systems treat people fairly, right? That's fairness. Transparency is those solutions should also be understandable. When it comes to privacy and security, I think that's an obvious one, but still, with all the data breaches you see in the wild, right? It should be a top priority. And then when it comes to reliability, then your system should also really perform reliable and in a safe manner. And if you want to learn more, there's also like a Microsoft Learning path in Microsoft Learn, where you can dig deeper into those principles and really understand from a high level perspective what these are about. But to get a little bit more concrete, right? I said the goal for today is that you understand why I'm passionate about this topic, but also give you an entry point. And this entry point is a small set of tools, and that's by far not an exhaustive list, right? There's many more tools available. But to give you a starting point, I wanted to show a few tools available also with Microsoft involvement. One of them is Interpret ML. So when it comes to explainability, then the question is, how can you understand your models better? And is there a way probably to even understand models you have not built yourself, right? So, and that is exactly what Interpret ML can do. It can help you explore data and model performance. So it can show you not only the performance, but also help you identifying errors, giving you statistics and the distribution of models. And it helps you gain a better model understanding. So when it comes to that you want to explain and reason about the model and the model quality, then you want to have a better and understanding of the model, and you want to probably have a tool that helps you with identifying global or local differences in your model, right? So that said, with all of that, Interpret ML can help you, and so it becomes a tool not only for data scientists, but also for like auditors or business leaders, even researchers that want to work with your models, right? When it comes to fairness, there's another tool called Fairlearn, and this will help you assess and deliver to you fairness metrics, and then also mitigate fairness problems you might want to have in your models. So Fairlearn is an open source community-driven project, and it's basically a Python package that empowers you as a developer in order to tackle this fairness aspect. So if you think that you want to check your model for fairness, then this is probably a go-to tool. The next one on the list is Presidio. This is a tool that helps you with privacy and security. And the way it does it is it helps you anonymize private entities in text. They also are into image anonymization already and looking into it. But the example today I can show you from a live website is that you have an input text, and this tool would go ahead and help you. For example, if you have the passport right here, the passport number in US format, then it will anonymize in the result this with this replacement, right? So you see that you also have options in the tool. You could not only replace it, you could also like mask it. So then you would have a masked version of it, right? Or you could then also change the look and feel in order to have a separate character for masking. You could probably just use this, right? And then you had a different masking. That is Presidio. So also probably an interesting tool to look at, right? Last one is error analysis, which would give you even more insight into model errors. And that said, if I look at the areas of responsibility, then this was a quick 10-minute rush around AI and specifically responsible AI, right? But the way I look at responsibility is all the other factors and other things on this list. But this then is more for like a 60-minute session, probably not for a 10-minute session. So I hope that you go ahead with these takeaways, right? Responsibility should be the default for the data you process and while you are building your data solutions. There's quite a bunch of tools out there, also with help from Microsoft. Go check those out. And I hope you are going to have a great rest of your day at Data Minutes. Always remember, with big data comes big responsibility. Thank you very much.